From the Alex Trebek stage at Sony Picture Studios, this is Inside Jeopardy!
Oh, Johnny Guitar Gilbert on the axe, welcoming us, welcome all of you back to Inside Jeopardy, your exclusive and official podcast destination for all things happening in the world of Jeopardy. I'm Michael Davies, joined today, as always, by producer Sarah Foss.
Yes, I've been here for all 90-something podcasts we've done.
You've never
Michael.
missed one.
Not a
You've
single
never
one.
missed one.
Yeah, that's dedication.
It's
the kind
like
of dedication I bring to this show and
I
this
like
pod.
It. Yeah. How are we doing?
Well, you know, we're doing.
Yeah.
We're still on two legs, so that's impressive because it's been a busy few weeks here. Obviously, we've just wrapped Masters. We won't give anything away, but in JPT, as you call it,
Yeah.
we're through Masters.
Yeah, we are. As Sarah has been teasing me before this, I'm still not changed out of my gym clothes. And this morning I went running, came to work, thought I'll go to the gym. I will shower there downstairs at Sony. I haven't made it to the gym or the shower. I apologize both to you, Sarah, to producers Alexa and Carlos for coming here so poorly dressed. And
It's okay. We're admiring your tan.
okay, good. I'm always tan.
Yep, tan legs.
I am tan.
And
this,
you know, you don't smell.
It does occur to me that this is the first Inside Jeopardy podcast in what for me is the post Men in Blazers era. I'm still
Yes.
going, well, not post. I'm still sort of involved with
But
Men
post
in
your
Blazers.
announcement.
Post my announcement that I'm not going to be on Men in Blazers anymore. The bad news for all of you out there in Inside Jeopardy world, and for you, Sarah, is that it
More,
means that I
Michael.
will be, there will be more Davo on Inside Jeopardy. I will be available to do this podcast more often. So
I love that.
I'm
and
excited
you're just
about
going
it.
extreme. You're going from blazer to gym clothes to
Yes,
really
exactly.
signify that change.
It's got to be different. It's so funny because a friend of mine asked me immediately if I would do another soccer podcast with him. And I'm still involved in Men in Blazers. I'm not going to do another soccer podcast. I said, look, I'll podcast about anything other than soccer. And he pitched me back a title for a new podcast, which really did make me laugh. It's called Everything But the Goal, which is where we talk about everything but soccer.
I like it.
There you go.
Well-
Even producer Alexa gave me a little smile.
We
for
gave
that
you a
one.
little smile. There were
That's
a lot
good.
of comments about you not being as
Blazered.
involved. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a big part of your history.
It's a major look. I've been writing about football, soccer since 2002, podcasting since 2010, which was the dark ages of podcasting. Been in a writing and podcast relationship with Roger for 14 years. It's a long time. Just think, you've had 2.5 years to
I
deal with me,
know.
Sarah. Can
Oh
you
my
imagine what
goodness.
14 years would be like?
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's been a huge part of my life. I'm very grateful for all of it. I'm excited this gives me more time to dive into Jeopardy, Good Morning Football, you know, Andy Cohen, a few of the other shows that I produce. But Jeopardy is all involving. I had to change my official residence today to Los Angeles. So I now officially live here. I officially for Sony work here, not in the crap part of Soho and Embassy Row in New
Really?
York. So yeah,
Huh,
I'm
2.5
a
years
California. I'm a California resident now.
Well, I love the idea of having more of you on the pod. It gives us more opportunities to talk about things that we want to discuss amongst ourselves and also among our listeners. And, you know, I have something I want to bring up.
Okay, go.
So last season,
Yeah.
Champions Wildcard, we announced it. First ever, we're going to have this new competition, Champions Wildcard. If you won one game, you're coming back. If you won 2 games, everyone who's won a game of Jeopardy is coming back. And we ended up with more qualifiers, if you will, than we could have anticipated. More than we could even fit into a regular tournament structure. So we ended up doing those play-in games that were on TuneIn. And so now we're getting into a new season. We're doing regular Jeopardy again, and I just am wondering if we want to approach Champions Wildcard the same way. Does everyone get a chance, or is it among our champions you could be invited to Champions Wildcard?
I'm sure that many listeners to this podcast, many super fans of Jeopardy, do not want to start talking now about another tournament or about
Right,
the
read the room,
postseason
Sarah.
when we're just at a moment when
Yes.
we are going to have so many weeks, months, seasons
Yes.
of regular Jeopardy before we get back into the postseason. But it does raise an interesting question as we're starting to see
Yes.
some multi-day champions. We've seen one-day champions this season. Are all of the one-day champions, I think you're asking, and
Yes.
looking at me,
Yes.
going to make it into Champions Wildcard next season, whether that's on TV or through a play-in game? We did it on TuneIn last time that Buzzy hosted. Great question. I don't actually know yet.
I know.
I feel like the postseason should be and is going to be shorter in future years, naturally.
Absolutely.
Because we had an exigent season last year with the added tournaments because of the WGA strike. So we'll have to see. We don't have enough room on television for all of the champions. So it would mean doing them in audio. We're not quite sure about where our audio deal is going to be in the future. So we're starting to talk about it. But yeah, that's something which we're going to have to figure out. I think that my proclivity, my tendency is towards keeping Champions Wildcard the way it is and having everybody have a chance to go and play, but it just may not be possible. We're going to need a deal to be able to broadcast those.
Well, and I guess that's kind of what I wanted to put out there, because I've heard chatter even among our single game champions, and I just want to put it out there that we are still evaluating how it works each and every season. We do know that all of the postseason is going to be shorter, so we're looking at it, we're thinking about it.
The good news is this is mostly within our control, notwithstanding that we're going to need some kind of audio deal if we do play in episodes again, but it is mostly within our control to figure it out. Mostly I want to figure the right thing for the show. A number of former contestants came to me and said they love Champions Wildcard. A number of former contestants said, they like Second Chance, but Champions Wildcard, what was it? Is it the right thing? Should it be the same length? Should everybody get in? And we're still evaluating all of that stuff and thinking about it. What I do, just want to remind, I know that our intense fans know this, but to remind perhaps some more of the casual fans who listen to this, is that there's a difference between what we do in syndication and what we do in prime time, where we have a network partner who says to us, hey, this is how we want it to be, and they pay us money, they license these episodes, and they have a right to have input. And so what we now do, the extensions, celebrity, and masters that we make now, and extensions that we may or may not have coming up in the future, we don't have all of that absolute control that we have over the syndicated episodes.
Well, if you have thoughts about it, feel free. InsideJeopardyPodcast@gmail.com. We'll hear your thoughts. You know, we want to know what the fans want to know.
Yeah,
we mentioned
we get a lot of it on the Jeopardy Reddit.
We do.
We read a lot of that.
We do. Lots of good Reddit comments about Masters, which did debut last week. So we are, of course, going to share those highlights a little later, as well as the highlights from regular Jeopardy. Amy Hummel securing her spot in the upcoming TOC. I just want to say, if you look at the TOC tracker right now, it's all women. 3 women so far have qualified for the Tournament of Champions. Lisa Ann Walter, our celebrity champion, of course, along with Allison Betts and Amy Hummel. I'd say we're off to a great start for next season's TOC.
It's very true. I mean, Jeopardy has become female-dominated, and what a good thing.
Yeah.
We sat in our management meeting today at Jeopardy where we have the major producers of Jeopardy and the major executives who work on Jeopardy across the game shows group run by Suzanne Preddy at Sony. And I had this moment when I'm hearing a lively conversation about everything going on. I sit back in my chair and I thought, how wonderful that I'm the only man in the room. And also very aware that so many women in that room have so often been the only woman in rooms that they've sat in on TV shows and in executive suites. Jeopardy is becoming increasingly, and for the good of Jeopardy, a female-dominated brand on both sides of the camera.
The funny thing was, as you said that, we all looked around as if it hadn't dawned on all of us.
I know it hadn't. It dawned on me and not on all of you.
Yeah.
You just regarded it as normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why
Which
things
is great.
are going so well.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the games, let's take a look back at this week in Jeopardy history.
Here are today's contestants. A psychiatrist from Whitby, Ontario, Canada, Javaria Zahir. An actuary from New York, New York, Sammy Casanova. And our returning champion, a data scientist from Chicago, Illinois, Hannah Wilson, whose 3-day cash winnings total $90,601.
It was during this week just last year on May 8th when Hannah Wilson competed in her 4th game against Javaria Zahir. At that point, Hannah had really proven to be a pretty dominant player, but then Javaria gave Hannah a run for her money, heading into final with an impressive 17,000 to Hannah's 21,200. Juveria goes all in, which we would later know would be her style in final, was incorrect. Hannah goes on to become a 9-game champion. We saw Juveria again, of course. She came back in second chance. She won that. She won Champions Wildcard. She joined Hannah again in that very, very competitive TOC. Strong performances for both of them in the quarterfinal games. Although unable to advance to the semifinals, certainly two players that I know fans were very excited to see back on the Alex Trebek stage during that TOC.
Yeah, and we hope to see them again, even though I'm sure Sarah is already... We've already started. We promised that we're only focusing on the regular episodes. We've already started to talk about the JIT field for next year.
Yeah, it's big. It's bold.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, well, let's kick off our highlights for the week of Jeopardy Masters. First up, returning Masters. Mattea Roach and Matt Amodio faced off against newcomer Victoria Gross. It was a pretty evenly matched Jeopardy round, but then Victoria just went on a tear in Double Jeopardy, finding both daily doubles and ending the round with an impressive 31,000 points. Of course, this is Masters, and a runaway win. I have to mention this episode aired on May 1st, and Mattea shared in that episode that it was, the eve of the 1-year anniversary of their dad passing on May 2nd. And then Mattea went on X. They posted this beautiful picture with 5 of the 6 Masters from season 1 and just said, I want to once again thank and recognize last year's Jeopardy Masters cohort for feeding me beer and cold In-N-Out on a really shitty day. Much love to them and to my dad always.
Yeah, we had many challenges in the production of Masters 1. Nothing was felt harder across the team than what Mattea went through this time last year, and that moved all of us on the stage during Masters 2.
Yeah, and only that group of people, who they competed with really understood and really were there. So,
yeah,
so great that they could be with them 1 year later. Well, Ken did catch up with our Masters after Game 1. Let's hear how Victoria was feeling following that very big first win.
Victoria, congratulations.
Thank you.
All hail the queen. It all came together for you in that game.
I definitely lucked out by Matt hitting. I said, as the little barriers were going down, I felt like a tougher than average daily double for a second row clue.
Yes, I think these whole games are going to trend harder, and I think that might result in some unpredictable daily double outcomes, because unless you know something about a zigzagging sewing machine, you're kind of going on vibes.
Thought of those pinking shears right away and couldn't get it out of my mind.
They have the little zigzag design.
And of course, the daily doubles that you land on and the daily doubles that you know are hopefully an overlapping circle, but they're not always.
Now, Matt, because you were the only one that knew genus in Final Jeopardy, that would have...
Match points, right?
That would have swung the outcome of the game. Victoria becomes catchable.
I would have wagered differently.
You could have wagered more. It's true.
Don't steal this from me. I have a 0 up there.
Absolutely nothing differently.
Tell us about your daily double wager in this universe, Victoria. You were looking at the board very carefully. You were thinking about how much money is left.
I was trying to do the math to see what would get me a lock right there. I couldn't quite get through the math in time, but I knew I'd be very close with the wager that I did.
You're adding up the money on the board.
That's a hard thing to do.
It is. And, I can... In practice, I feel like I can do it a lot more quickly, and I felt a little shaky as I was trying to just, focus on the numbers and what's the category of this daily double and what are my chances of getting it. And but I was trying to just do the math and lock it right there.
I don't know about you guys, but I felt a little shaky during this game. This is a big stage. This is a big deal.
Yeah. First game jitters maybe a little bit. The level of the material is obviously so tough. And I think one thing I noticed last year's Masters, I kind of had to get more comfortable with taking stabs at stuff where I'm maybe only 60% sure, right? Because having control of the board, being able to look for daily doubles is so important in games like this.
Yeah, and I do believe, if I remember correctly, I got a Trivial Pursuit Genus Edition question wrong last year.
Oh, did you say
now
Genius?
Now I'm pulling Genus, which
I thought that was very impressive because there's not a lot in the clue. A Latin category.
Yeah, I stare at genus species all the time just for fun. And so chrysanthemum came out.
What did you know anything about the fact? How did you eliminate species or other kinds of taxonomic terms?
Yeah, so I know that chrysanthemum is a family, like there are multiple of them, and so it couldn't be species. And then much of the other taxonomic ordering is not Latin, so easy to roll out that way. That's
true. Yeah, species very tempting, but he's kind of a lazy botanist if he just lists 700 plants, and then he's like, you know what? I'm going to call it a day.
I feel like I
genus
could
even
name more.
popped into my head as a possibility, like right before the end of time, and I was like, if I had 15 seconds, maybe I switch. But I'd rather at least have an answer out there.
Yeah, you never want to get half
That's
written.
right. That's right.
You wagered to have the even 33,333. It didn't quite work out with you, but I have a better number, 3. You earn 3 match points in our very first Jeopardy Masters game, Victoria. Congratulations. Well done. You'll have to face off against the winner of our next game. So we'll see who that will be.
Which terrifying possibility will it be?
There are a few options, but we're going to find out very shortly, and we'll see you in our next episode. All 3 of you. Welcome to Jeopardy Masters.
Such interesting insights, getting into the minds of our masters and what goes into these games.
Yeah, certainly. Victoria announced herself on the Alex Trebek stage Masters version. And, it's something that we saw from Victoria during the JIT. As Double Jeopardy goes on, just gets stronger and stronger and stronger and builds up that momentum. And just what an impressive debut this was. Okay, in the second game of the night, Masters champion James Holzhauer went up against Yogesh Raut and Amy Schneider. Yogesh took the lead heading into Double Jeopardy, where, with the help of a 9,400-point daily double and 12 correct responses, he secured a runaway win.
Yeah, look at that. 2 newcomers,
Yep.
both with runaways. Pretty impressive. James, you had to notice, was, of course, the self-proclaimed final boss of Jeopardy, declaring, "I am the main event." He also revealed that this was the first time that his dad had been in the audience to see him compete. Hard to imagine that
Amazing.
after all these years, that was the first time his dad was there. Also have to point out the kernel of the clue category. I know a lot of fans were talking about it, maybe calling it brutal. I did check in with Billy Weiss, one of our co-head writers, and he said, Michael really challenged us to write some brain-twisting wordplay, if you will, some clues that you couldn't find those responses on a flashcard. So I think the kernel of the clue was kind of one of those that you had challenged the writers to really go beyond.
Yeah, look, I think that's very accurate and very fair of Billy to say it. I think the overall note is correct. We want to push in Masters these players to get beyond what they can learn in flashcards and use the power of their brains to compete against each other and stand out from each other in this game. Look, in hindsight, when I read Kernel of the Clue, I was like, wow, I'm finding this difficult. Our players actually dealt with it better. I think it was harder for the audience. Our players sort of dealt with most of it. And I think sometimes it was, the reactions that we saw a little bit perhaps from James during that episode were a little bit more like, well, this is pushing me through multiple steps more than it was impossible. They can deal with anything we throw at them, frankly.
Yeah, Billy told me they actually had a few leftover clues that weren't used in that category, and he knew that these same 3 players may be meeting up again at a later game, so he thought, hey, now they have the hang of it. Maybe we should do it again. And of course, Michelle said, hell no.
Yeah, absolutely. There is similar to you and I,
yes.
Sarah, our writers, Billy and Michelle. Sometimes there is more aggressive and more conservative voices.
Yes,
which is
all
an
of
excellent
those.
thing.
All right, and with that, Victoria and Yogesh both earning 3 match points for their wins. Matea and James each earning 1 match point for finishing in second. Tonight, it will be James, Matea, and Matt facing off in Game 1. And then, as is the tradition, in Game 2, our 2 winners from the previous episode go against each other. So we have Victoria and Yogesh, and then it's a random draw for someone who hasn't played in that combination. Amy got the draw, so she will be in Game 2 with Victoria and Yogesh. You won't want to miss it.
Yeah, we know that this is challenging scheduling. Jeopardy Masters, once
Yes.
again, this was ABC, not us. But, we're very happy, ABC, if you're listening,
Yes, thank you.
to be on your air. But yes, Monday night, tonight is the second episode of Jeopardy Masters. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss any of these episodes of Masters. It's
Yeah.
just superb.
Continuing again on Wednesday and Friday. So we kind of get into a rhythm now of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, Michael, let's talk about some of those regular Jeopardy games.
Yes, original recipe syndicated Jeopardy.
Amy Hummel returned on Monday with 3 wins under her belt. She and Ferdinand Persenti battled throughout, with Ferdinand taking a strong lead after finding both daily doubles in Double Jeopardy. But he couldn't come up with the correct response in final. Amy does, and she comes from behind to secure a 4th win. Interestingly enough, Michael, it has been pointed out that this is not the first Jeopardy champion named Amy Hummel.
Oh my God, there are 2 of them. I
Wait.
believe that was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie quote at some point. I don't know whether there were 2 Jean-Claude Van Dammes in the movie. There are 2 Amy Hummels.
There are. Way back in 2002, we had another Amy Hummel who was a 1-game champion. Thank you, J Archive. You know, you can look anything up.
We have checked the tape. It is not the same Amy Hummel.
Nope, different. Ferdinand, I don't often bring up the interview moments, but this was so interesting to me. His grandmother founded a hotel in the Bahamas. Jimmy Buffett often visited the hotel, ate a cheeseburger there, and, you know, as his grandmother tells him, that was the inspiration of Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah, I have. I've sent a note to
Yes.
Savannah Buffett, my great friend, who's Jimmy's daughter, to just check on this.
Okay.
And I should be able to come back with
I'd
some.
like, yes, please
yeah.
confirm or deny if that is
Absolutely.
true. People are already starting to talk about the field 4-second chance, and Ferdinand certainly getting some chatter. 22 correct responses, ran the getting territorial category, and had a near runaway if not for that miss in Final Jeopardy. So, pretty good start to the week. On Tuesday, it was the day that Amy punched her official ticket to the TOC, locking up that 5th win, following a close game with an exciting finish. Get this, Amy and Laura Bly were tied at the end of Jeopardy, then tied at the end of Double Jeopardy, but that Amy is correct and final and notches that 5th exciting win and becomes our 3rd official qualifier for the TOC.
Wow, excellent.
I spoke with Amy right after her win to know how she felt about securing a spot in the TOC. Let's hear how she's feeling. Amy Hummel, 5-day Jeopardy champion. How does that sound?
I don't think it's real. Like, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to come in for my first day.
Well, it is real. And what is also real is you are headed to the Tournament of Champions. I heard Ken ask you, have you seen the Tournament of Champions? And you said, no. I mean, you've obviously been busy. You're an ER doctor. So are you going to do any studying up on what that involves?
I'll probably go back and watch some prior Tournaments of Champions and then just keep doing what I was doing, which was a 300,000 question flashcard deck.
300,000.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me about your Jeopardy journey.
Definitely watching the show as a kid. It's on in the like early mid-afternoon, like 3:30 in Chicago. So it was like right when you get home from school, it would be on. I know I took the test, I think in high school, but I couldn't make the audition. It was in person then. I took the anytime test, and then I did the COVID version of the audition process. So it was pretty much all remote. I know I forgot to show up to one of them, and I think the other one I rolled out of bed because I was in residency and was tired.
But look at you, you made it.
Now we're here.
So what were you hoping to accomplish here on the Alex Trebek stage?
I think my big dream was to win one game and then be able to go home saying that I had won a game. But honestly, I was just thrilled to be here. And so this was not even on the table whatsoever.
5-game champion, wasn't even in the dreams.
No.
Well, I know you described yourself, you always did look very calm out here, like it really was just no big deal, like another day at the office for an ER doctor. But you also said underneath you were like a duck, calm on top, paddling like crazy underneath the water. Is that an accurate way to describe what it's like to be up here?
Yeah, 100%. During the game, you get a little more zen once you start. If you can get into like a streak or in the zone with the buzzer, it starts feeling a lot less stressful. But I feel like anytime we'd break and then come back, it'd be like all over again.
And it's a long day. For those who are watching you at home, this didn't happen over 5 days, or you didn't have that weekend in between to be a Jeopardy champion. This has all happened, within a matter of 24 hours.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a really long 24 hours.
What's been the best part so far of the experience?
Oh, the best part was just getting to meet all the other contestants and then everyone who works here is just so lovely. Like, we were saying yesterday, it's like I wouldn't be sad to lose to any of you because you're all just so excellent. And the same was true today. It was just a dream come true.
Well, congratulations on a great run, and we will see you in the Tournament of Champions.
Can't wait.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage? Shopify's there to help you grow. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person point-of-sale system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Plus, they have the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. What I love about Shopify is how simple they've made it to grow your business. You can manage inventory, track payments, and view real-time insights all in one place. Shopify is there to support your success every step of the way because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Jeopardy, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Jeopardy now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Jeopardy.
Now, back to Inside Jeopardy! And on Wednesday, Wakey-Eye Ranelagh took the stage, defeating Amy Hummel. Amy managed to find both of the daily doubles in Double Jeopardy, but unfortunately missed both of them, dropping $8,200. From there, Wakey-Eye cruised into a comfortable lead, wagering minimally on a triple stumper in final to take the win. Okay, I just love some of these Reddit comments. I have to read Neil's cousin. He was in the third podium. He talked a bit about his experience. Special shout out to Makeup. I spent a few days skiing shortly before my tape day. That trip was planned before I got the call, and my face was peeling from all the sun and wind. Did my wife and I hit Sephora the night before to get a bunch of masks and moisturizing creams? Yes. Did it help? Not so much. So thank you to our makeup team. We would have never known, Nils, if you didn't post this on Reddit. Another person hopping on Reddit, Allison Betts, our other TOC qualifier earlier this season. Congratulations to Amy. I was hoping that, unlike me, she'd survive the 6th game curse. Regardless, I'm so incredibly impressed with her play and can't wait to see her again in the TOC. My second tape day was her first, and we got to speak a bit in the green room before the first game taped. However, smart, kind, calm, and collected she seems on stage, she's 10 times more so in person. She deserves all the love she's getting and more.
Wow, the sorority between our TOC contestants is starting months out. Amazing.
Well, Wakey-Eye returned on Thursday, and after a well-played game by all three players, despite not finding any daily doubles, Wakey-Eye managed to steadily build her lead throughout and was correct in final to secure a second win. Another person getting a little second chance love is Angelus Kokocious. Reddit users calling him feels like the type of player who could have just been a juggernaut if he was better at converting on daily doubles. He did, of course, fall victim to a missed daily double, but 19 correct responses against a strong player in Wakey-Eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
And believe it or not, Wakey-Eye yet to find a daily double after 2 games and yet a 2-game champion. However, on Friday, the daily double drought ends. Wakey-Eye found both the first and last of the game, but missed both of them, dropping her to 3rd place. But she bet it all in final, the only person to be correct, capping off an exciting come-from-behind win. Final Jeopardy, Michael. 1990's #1 songs. This title character of the top song from 1996 can't stand her boyfriend Vintorino and spurns him to be with his 2 friends.
Yeah, there is some knowledge that I forget people's names that I should really know, and yet there is knowledge in my brain that I don't really know how I know and would probably choose for it not to be there.
Okay,
and yet this is one of the ones that I knew and actually questioned whether or not it was too easy to be a final, and yet there you go.
Well, Ken caught up with the players after the game and had some thoughts about the Macarena.
Congratulations.
Yes, I mean,
Thank you.
Would you like to do a little celebratory?
All the girls in my elementary school would, but I never could.
So. Does anybody know it? I don't think I know.
I was always bad at it, and I'll always hate it.
Is it up or down first?
I think it's down.
It's down first, then up, then shoulders, then head.
And there's
then
a spin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No,
I don't think I'm allowed to do this. They're going to shoot me from the waist up like Elvis if I actually do the Macarena. Congratulations, Weikia. You needed that correct response.
Yeah, I was going, I have to bet all of it, and I have to be the only one who's right. But I guess I feel very lucky with this one. That was a really tough game. The buzzer competition was unbelievable.
I saw you buzzing in very vehemently. Yeah. But you couldn't find your rhythm, I guess?
No, and I think these two are just so amazing at the buzzer. They definitely deserve a round of applause for that great performance.
It was a great game for all three of you. You know, Deanna went into final with the lead, and she had, I think, 16 correct responses, the same as Weikia. But you had some misses that bumped you down into third.
I had been studying presidential homes, and I was like, it's something that has the same place as a site in another country. I know that, and I couldn't remember it. I just couldn't put a pin on it. But there's the Hermitage in Russia.
St. Petersburg, right?
Yeah.
I thought the daily double was hard on Hippocampus. That was we didn't give you a whole lot there. How do you know your brain parts, Henry?
Well, yeah, I guess hippo, I just knew that there's one piece in the brain that's an animal. I mean, it's called a hippocampus for being in the shape of a horse, like a seahorse. So, but well done. The hippo is the wrong. So I don't know. My dad's a doctor, so you know.
You had actual knowledge. Your dad will be so pleased. So. Well, we knew from yesterday's game, Weikia, that maybe your strongest category was not women in song, but you knew the plot of Macarena and Vitorino. Do you have a story with the song?
Yeah, there was a Hank Green video where he was summarizing like the plots of different hit songs that aren't in English. So he talked about Gangnam Style and that Numa Numa song and Macarena. So that's how I remembered.
Got it. Well, I'm sorry that the Macarena is going to be a painful memory for Deanna and Henry. But Weikia, I let you survive the week, and you're going to come back for your fourth game on Monday. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Michael, believe it or not, really fun. Well, I don't even know it's a fun story for me about the Macarena, but years ago, the Clue crew did a Clue about the Macarena. We did the moves. We all practiced. You know,
Sarah is doing them right now.
I'm doing dun, 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 dun,
okay, that's enough.
Okay. Anyway, just picture a lot of effort went into this. Here comes a Clue in the game board. It pops out. We have a technical issue. Clue has to be thrown away. My Macarena never lived.
Nobody's ever seen it.
No.
That would be, as I regard, that would be the work of the game show gods, who we talk about a lot.
You know, sometimes they work for us and sometimes against us. I don't know which one that was. But it is now time for this week's Host Chat. An audience member asked Ken, how many writers are on the Jeopardy staff?
The current staff is 8 writers, I believe, and about as many researchers full-time, because it's just an amazing amount of work. You think about it, every night, we're seeing 61 clues, but there's also extras in each category. So there's like a dozen clues you didn't see. There's all the playtesting and fact-checking that has to go on. That's why there's a staff of researchers. Obviously, we know gameplay swings on that, and the writers are multiple Emmy-winning and well-deserved. They're the best in the business, and you know, no TV show is more reliant on words than Jeopardy. We are so lucky to have them. And 2 of them are here, Billy and Michelle, our head writers. Woo!
We also have a viewer question this week, Sarah. This is, as you know, it's what I'm always asking for. Dory asks, I know that generally you tape 5 to 6 episodes in a day. What is the taping schedule for the special tournaments like the JIT, Masters, Tournaments of Champions? Do you tape multiple episodes in a day, or do these contestants get more time between episodes?
Whew, well, it varies. The most we've ever done in a single day is 7. That was in a Tournament of Champions in 2022, and we also threw in that exhibition game. So that was a big day.
Although when we do Celebrity, we do 4 hours in a day, which would be the equivalent of 8 half hours.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
She didn't ask about that one, though.
Okay, got it. I know Celebrity wasn't listed. You're right.
But yes, an average is 5 to 6 for these tournaments, but they do happen, 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. There's no rest for the weary at Jeopardy, but that's typically it's about 5 episodes, but we get up to 7, and they are long days. And, at that level of play, when you're in JIT, TOC, it's a lot. And for Masters, we do... we've done 6 games, 3 episodes in a day, which is also a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It gets a little bit easier as the tournament goes on.
Yes, the days get shorter.
And Masters, the days get shorter as the tension grows. It's very, very true.
Well, That wraps up today's show, Michael. As a reminder, Jeopardy Masters returns tonight, so be sure to tune in and join us right back here on Monday as we break down each and every game.
And we're going to be speaking with our fantastic director, Russell Norman, darling, about the process of directing Jeopardy and Jeopardy Masters, and talk to him about all the other things he directs on television,
this
like
is be
AGT
a
and
yes.
his great experience. A wonderful, wonderful man. We'll see you all then.
See you then.
Hey, Ken, what's that thing the kids say?
You mean smash the like, subscribe, and bell button so you'll be the first to know when we upload more great videos?
Yeah, that's it. Do that.